Is it okay to make jokes or make profit or, you know, make games around someone like Smartschoolboy9? Some, you know, obviously P word.
I mean, I think the context matters. I mean, if you're making like silly art of him, or you're gonna make like a silly video about him, I think that's probably fine.
Well, just yesterday, an artist made this piece here that you see on screen, and this has taken Twitter by storm.
So, Smartschoolboy9, as you guys all know, you know, we did a little content about that. He's seemingly a freaky ass dude, all right? Seemingly a freaky ass dude. But apparently this guy on Twitter drew some art of him, and people like canceled this guy. And I don't know what the situation is. I don't know if he was glorifying or supporting Smartschoolboy9 or making fan art of him, or if he just thought it was funny. But I'm very curious to try to understand that.
So just about a month ago, Nick Crowley and Nexpo put out 2 videos at the same time on the same topic. That topic being about a individual on Instagram who is very into minors. I can't really say the actual word. Not this early into the video. YouTube will take away my ads, but you know what I mean.
The word is child lover. The word is child enthusiast. The word is minor appreciator. Okay, he's a minor appreciator. That's what we call him. This is kind of a map pride moment.
Expo's channel, it's this video here, Instagram's darkest rabbit hole, and it's essentially a mini documentary about this guy on Instagram named Smartschoolboy9. And these videos have sparked a ton of controversy. It sparked a ton of just crazy takes all over the place. People are, you know, freaking out on Twitter about this guy. It's caused weird discourse, weird trends. Something that I didn't really expect to happen. So I'm going to tell you guys about that. But just as a quick recap, basically this Smartschoolboy9 guy, he is a total weirdo. As a warning, this is obviously, you know, P-feeling.
Bro, this drama, I think it's going to remind me of fucking Chipple Dipple. You guys probably remember Chip, at least some of you. He fucking changed his profile picture to Smartschoolboy9 and people like freaked out about it. They had like, in some respects, somewhat of a mental breakdown. And we had some interesting common characters appear because of it. So it started with this edit. He made like a Brat Summer edit of Smartschoolboy9.
Vroom, 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 vroom in a big pink truck. February 10th and
I thought it was funny, but a lot of people got mad at him for that. And so Chip being Chip, he just needs people to be angry at him all the time. So Big Chungus said literally why, just showing his profile picture. Watch what happens when the biggest tech tuber gets greedy by NernSync. Sure. Oh, is that MKBHD, I would guess. But so essentially, he did this, okay? People started getting mad about it. I made a tweet at the time where I was like, that's my mutual, with like a heart emoji, and people were like, how could you ever joke about this, you sick fuck? Did Chip ever finish the game he was making on the gassy furry? He did not finish it, because he doesn't finish anything. But then people got mad at him. So this person was like, grown-ass man joking about a child predator. And he just somebody instantly name searched their account and found them joking about Epstein. Because nobody actually cares about this. It's all performative. You can make jokes about whatever you want. Then apparently they wouldn't let him change his profile picture, so he was stuck with the Smartschoolboy9 profile picture. Edit profile denied. Your profile's under review. No new changes are allowed to name and profile photo during the review period. Then people were mean to him, right? They were raging at him. So he posted this. He said, for every nasty comment I get, I torture myself more and more. This is who's on the other end of the screen. People took the bait, obviously. And he eventually posted a serious apology, all right, because he was feeling bad. He decided to acknowledge what he had done, okay? And I think this is sincere, obviously, because this Chip, you know, he feels bad. He said a statement addressing the name change. I need to address a serious misunderstanding regarding my recent name change. My decision to rebrand as Smartschoolboy9 was a misguided attempt at humor that I now deeply regret. I've since learned that Smartschoolboy9 is actually associated with an actual real-world pedophile. When I rebranded, I genuinely thought he was just some ugly-looking British guy and assumed it was okay to freely mock him. I now understand that is not the case. I want to say unequivocally that I do not think it's okay to joke about pedophiles. Sure, I've done some questionable things in the past, like that one time I made a fan cam about John Bob, or the whole poop debacle. Oops! But even I have to draw the line somewhere. I acknowledge the pain and confusion my thoughtless actions have caused, and while the situation may seem absurd, I understand the consequences are very real for those who had to relive trauma from that one Nexpo video we all watched a few days ago. I take full responsibility for my poor judgment and am committed to only joking about fictional pedophiles such as P. Diddy, Jeffrey Epstein, Dream, Drake, and EDP445 from now on, like everyone else. Yours truly, Chip. So people obviously, you know, they liked his apology. They thought it was based. Unfortunately, he walked it back and became a piece of shit again when he said, never mind, I'm bored. I want to be Smartschoolboy9 again with this Venom gif. Because Chip just can't help himself, okay? He's just a terrible person, clearly, you know. There's no forgiving him. So that's why we need to cancel Shipple Dipple. Spread the word.
It's absolutely disgusting. So just as a heads up, but I'm going to show you a couple things that this video from Nexpo shows. This Smartschoolboy9 guy had a Instagram page, multiple Instagram pages where he would pretend to be children and he would pretend to be a child, like talking about how he's going to school and blah, blah, blah. And he would post pictures like this, which is on
he would rub his little belly
screen now, which are obviously just highly edited, extremely perverted photos where he has a weird fetish for children and them going to school. The guy's obviously deranged. He's been completely just milked dry. I'm sure if you clicked on this video, you know about it. And actually, I'll play a little bit of Nick Crowley's last video so you can get like a little bit of an idea. Full credit to him. His video will be in the description.
Smartschoolboy9 was much the same as the other two accounts. They warned of online predators, obsessed over high-heeled mini boots and school uniforms, and posed as a child despite clearly not being one. But Smart Schoolboy was different.
I haven't seen that video yet, Weldon. Maybe we can watch that next stream, though.
In one key aspect. The person behind the account was pretending to be a child, but they were doing so in a much more apparent manner, as they didn't use AI or stolen images of other kids to form their identity, and instead, they used photos of themselves.
I'm sorry, the pictures of him are so funny. It is creepy if you actually watch the video, but just seeing like random pictures of him is hilarious. Just this like fat soy idiot dressed up like a 9-year-old. It is hilarious, you can't deny it. This is a unique kind of swag.
In the images posted on the account, we see what appears to be a fully grown man, dressed in a schoolboy's uniform. His face is painted pure white and has bright red lipstick. And he's, of course, wearing high-heeled mini boots. Characteristics that were all utilized across the other accounts, only this time,
Hey Tom, want to cover each other in baby oil and slap our bellies together? Keep up the great stream. I would love to do that. Please send me an email to my official business email right now.
it was done on himself, as he poses as a child, pretending to go to
It's like, it's so dark. The actual content is so dark, but just seeing pictures of him is like, it's the funniest thing ever.
school, as well as pretending to go through other life events common for preteens. And the photos aren't even the most disturbing part, as the account consists primarily of
All right, so we know the deal with Smartschoolboy9. So I'm curious what happened with this drama, because there was some other stuff that happened apparently on Twitter.
But this has sparked a lot of interesting conversation around what is appropriate to do, like when a story like this comes out. So first of all, obviously, whenever something starts trending, you know, it pretty much like reaches like every corner of the internet instantly. So as soon as this video dropped by Nexpo and the other video dropped by Nick Crowley, immediately like different parts of the internet, like Roblox, started making different games involving a Smartschoolboy9.
No!
The thumbnail would be like a photo of him, and then, you know.
All right, those games should probably be banned. You probably shouldn't be making games that... Like, there probably shouldn't be like a Escape Epstein obby on Roblox. I think that's probably bad. It's a kid's platform. It's a kid on Twitter. If you're going to make a joke, whatever. But if you're going to make a Smartschoolboy9 game on Roblox, I mean, it's kind of funny, but it's like, it's a kid's platform, you know?
You go into the game and you're getting chased by like a model that just has a little shitty like JPEG on the model and it's just running around. It's obviously just shit. It's made to follow a trend. It's made to have people click on it and you just get, you know, your views, your plays for Roblox, whatever. Like there was a couple tweets going viral similar to like this tweet here. This isn't one of them, but you know, here's a picture, survive Smartschoolboy9, and it just chases you around, right? And so this kind of started the rumbling on the internet of, is it okay to make jokes or make profit or, you know, make games around someone like Smartschoolboy9, some, you know, obviously P word.
I mean, I think the context matters. I mean, if you're making like silly art of him or you're going to make like a silly video about him, I think that's probably fine. If you're like defending him, obviously that's bad, but that's a different thing. If you're making games on Roblox about him, I feel like that is not only in bad taste, but you just don't want like, you know, you don't need like the 9-year-olds playing Roblox to know who Smartschoolboy9 is, realistically speaking.
Who goes trending? Can you talk about them? Can you make jokes about them, whether it's at their expense or not at their expense? Well, just yesterday, an artist made this piece here that you see on screen, and this has taken Twitter by storm. Everyone...
Is my name reference to eating ass or farting? I don't know. Bootyhole_whisperer says. Well, that's on you to decide, but hopefully it's in reference to neither.
Is talking about this now. It's got over 1 million views, but just 1,000 likes. And it's caused a lot of controversy. Like the first...
Why would you make fan art of a real life predator?
First comment here, why would you make fan art of a real life predator? Probably shouldn't be making fan arts of a child predator, bro. But on the other side of things, you have people saying like, this isn't fan art. It's art pointing out how bad Smartschoolboy9.
I don't know that it's art pointing out how bad he is, but it's just art with no context. I mean, it makes him look ugly. I wouldn't say it's like supportive artwork. Come on.
It is. It's not flattering. In fact, it is portraying him as a body horror monster, like the monster he is. And I mean, yeah, this is him. He's obviously looks disgusting. You can see like,
can you not draw like dark things? It just seems like troll art. It's not that bad.
The weird edits that he does.
People make fun of real life serial killers and predators all the time. People make joking fan cams of EDP445 and Epstein all the time. People collectively can understand that they're not supporting Epstein. It's like ironic.
And so, some people are trying to say, well, this is obviously representing him in a terrible way. And others are
nuance does not exist on Twitter.
Saying you shouldn't even like make any kind of, you should just not even do this at all. It doesn't matter what the intention is. And this has been kind of going off and on a little bit for like the last like 2+ weeks. For example, about 2 weeks.
Yeah, so Chip will definitely is going to get into, obviously.
Like a freak. But I continued giving another example here in my tweet where I said, I feel like people have a similar reaction to if someone were to immediately start propping up memes about a recent school esser. I'm not going to say that word again. I feel like YouTube would just screw my video. But I continue. Usually that shocks people. Whereas memes about the Trump esser didn't really faze anybody. A difference in fame.
It is interesting. It's not only fame though. Like nobody gets mad about 9/11 jokes right now, right? Like nobody gives a fuck. Jay Schlatt's been doing so many 9/11 jokes forever. Everybody thinks it's really funny, right? But if you make a joke about the Holocaust, you get a lot of backlash. People are still like livid about that online. Even though that was like how much before 9/11 the Holocaust was like 1939 to 1945, right? Even though it was like 70 years ago, people get way more mad about that. It's because it's political messaging. You can't make jokes about the wrong issues. Well, yeah, but there's obviously like there's political and social implications behind 9/11 too. But it's like, you can make a joke about one thing if it doesn't personally offend you, but you can't make a joke about the other thing if it does personally offend you. That's just how people's brain works, unfortunately.
Which again, I think is true. Like immediately after the Trump story broke and, he almost got, hit on the head, pretty much everyone was clowning on the shooter instantly on both the right and the left. Everyone was like, screw this guy. He's a loser. Or they were like, holy shit, like, let's make memes about.
People were even making memes about like saying that he was like an expert in JFK assassination simulator or whatever.
I saw so many memes of like him being a stormtrooper, all sorts of stuff like that, right? It's like just clowning on the guy, making jokes about him. And in some ways, like trying to almost like prop him up.
Isn't art supposed to be subjective? Like it's supposed to invoke feelings or whatever, and that art invoked disgust in me, so it's doing its job to accurately portray him. I mean, yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, I would understand if, like, the outrage of somebody's making a video. Like, Smartschoolboy9 is actually a great guy, and we should all love him, right? I mean, that's clearly one thing. But, like, you just drew a picture of him on Twitter. Is that bad? This is the whole just a worm and Cavill situation all over again. In the way that it's people being mad about nothing, yes, it is.
And someone did actually pass away in that instance, too.
You're not allowed to make people look ugly, okay? It's transphobic.
So it's not even just like, oh, people are joking because no one was harmed. He did kill someone. I mean, he was a murderer. And I think, like, the difference in fame between, like, Trump getting, targeted versus someone going into a school is, the school esser is someone that you could have interacted with. It's someone that you could have known, and they could have targeted you directly, the viewer.
Right. So if you can feel bad for someone, then it's terrible. But if you don't feel bad for them personally, then you can make jokes about whatever you want, basically. The problem with making art of Smartschoolboy9 is he's actively trying to lure in victims. Therefore, if mine or find the art and looking at the person, it's possible they could fail to realize the dangerous nature of Smartschoolboy9. But I also think that the drawing in the video is executed well and achieves a good message and doesn't outright promote him. A viewer who doesn't already know the backstory wouldn't be put in danger by seeing the art. Art is complex, but as an artist I value handling dark topics carefully. Drawing was good, but impersonating on Twitter bad. Impersonating on Twitter is not. What? Chipple Dipple making his profile Smartschoolboy9, you really think that that's gonna like harm minors? Really? I completely disagree.
Whereas, when it's Trump, I mean, that guy is so far disconnected from you as a politician, as, the president, whatever, that it just doesn't even we just don't even process it or really care. It's just totally different. And so I think that's really what's happening here the same way as it would there. And I think another thing that plays in this whole situation is the fact that because Smartschoolboy9 could be someone it also means that anyone could follow in his footsteps, right? To be Epstein, you have to have some kind of crazy level of influence, crazy level of fame, blackmail.
Tom, the kids miss you, but thoughts on KSI? I left the kids for KSI.
Ability, etc. So it's like when you make an Epstein meme, it's not like someone can just become Epstein and also have memes made about them, be idolized, etc., etc. But anyone could become Smartschoolboy9 in one day. Someone in my audience could wake up tomorrow and decide to start posting
Right, but that wouldn't be Connor's fault. Like, that wouldn't be the Twitter guy's fault if they somehow the takeaway, like, that person was already a bad person. They would have done that anyway with any post.
Seeing stuff like Smart School.
It's like the video games cause violence argument. It's like, no, video games do not cause violence. Clearly, people are predisposed to these issues.
9 create some kind of weird ARG, become, a P word, even if it's fake, even if it's real, whatever. They could just, start acting like that, prey on a kid, garner a bunch of attention, and then boom, now they're, the same way. It's the same argument people make towards, school essers. And so I think that's another thing people worry about and people are actually upset about when it comes to like this art, right? They think, okay, you're now just like propping up some guy who anyone could be at any given moment. Anyone can follow in his footsteps. Now maybe they're even encouraged to do it because they can get fame. Maybe they, are interested in fame, even, right? Maybe they like fame that way. They like the humiliation. They like the bullying. And so you're now showing that, okay, if someone was to do this, they're actually going to be propped up. And so I don't know. I mean, it's interesting to me. Obviously, this is a very complex situation. There's a whole bunch of different stuff involved. But I feel like I can see both sides. At the end of the day, I'm not really going to personally care if people make, jokes or whatever about Smartschoolboy9. I think at first I was kind of a little bit shocked by it. But obviously, then I started doing some critical thinking. I was like, okay, well, why? Like, what's really the difference? And I don't know. I don't see too much of a difference.
Yeah, I agree. True. Maybe if Smartschoolboy9 did the Charleston, this wouldn't have happened. True. Well, he kind of did do it. If you saw his little jig, he kind of did the Charleston. Smartschoolboy9 says do the Charleston. Well, with that in mind, I'll definitely do it.